you feel a burning desire to make a big change in your life? Maybe you're thinking about switching careers, moving to a new city, or even exploring a whole new country. We've all had incredible dreams, and the bigger they are, the more challenging they can seem. Have you ever found yourself questioning, is this the right time? Is it even practical? Will I earn good money doing this? What about my family? If this sounds like you, you're not alone. I'm Samir Mansoor, a leadership and life success coach, and I face these same exact fears. But guess what? Every single time I've taken this leap of faith, it has worked out far better than I could have ever imagined. I just started this new chapter in my life in this beautiful and historic city of Verona, and maybe it's time to start yours too. So today I'm going to share with you 3 principles from my own life that'll help you feel unstuck and ready to take these bold steps forward. And along the way, I'll show you some incredible sights and tastes of Verona. But first, let me take you on a quick tour of this enchanting city. Yes, this is the same Verona made famous by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. You can even visit Juliet's balcony where Romeo called out to her. There's even a little bronze statue of Juliet where people touch her chest for good luck. Was she like 13 years old in that story? How do people come up with these traditions? Every corner you turn here, you seamlessly transition between ancient Roman architecture and beautiful medieval style frescoes, archways, and the most charming windows. I swear, when I see these windows, it makes me want to write stories. It just gets my creative mode flowing. So poetic. And as you walk through the adorable alleyways, you are going to be met with the most incredible smells of pastas, of pastries, of gelato. Don't even get me started on the gelato. I'm trying to control myself here. But in the course of this video, I'm going to show you some of my highlights. But first, let's get into the first principle, because I know that's what you're here for. Principle number 1, trust your intuition. It sounds cliche, it is cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. It is true. Your intuition knows what's right for you, and I believe intuition to be guidance from God, lovingly calling you towards your highest potential, your joy, and your freedom. Our prayers are our communication with God, and intuition is one of the ways that God communicates with us into our heart, into our dreams, into our imagination. Now, there's a theory of life that resonates deeply with me, and it goes something like this. Your intuition knows what is right for you because all the possibilities of your life, all the possible futures that could play out have already been lived to its endpoints. See, time doesn't exist in the way we know it to exist. Think of it this way. The past, the present, and the probable futures are all happening at the same time, kind of like a time sandwich with all of these concurrent streams sandwiched on top of one another. And all the possible paths that we will take are already known. We already know it because it's already been lived. Certain decisions we face make us feel anxious and uncomfortable, right? We can think of certain decisions that we've made where after we made it or leading up to it, we feel deep anxiety, uncomfortableness, right? Or especially after uncomfortableness. Is that even a word? Especially after we made the decision. If we're still feeling this discomfort, it's likely because our super consciousness, that which is connected to infinite intelligence or divine mind, that knows the result of all the possible decision, already knows the outcome of the path that you've chosen. It's likely that this path is not one that leads to your highest potential. It's likely that this path has something within it that is going to cause that kind of discomfort, and what you're feeling right now is just a foreshadowing of that. Our ill feeling then is like our internal alert system that says, hey, are you sure you want to make that decision? Even though it may seem like that is the logical decision, even though it may seem like that is the right decision from a practical standpoint, are you sure you want to make that decision? Careful now.
careful. Our feeling is like a preview of what is to come. Now, can you think, again, of a time where you felt this way about a decision that you made? And instead of having made that decision, instead of feeling peace, you felt not so great about it, even if it was the logical choice. Now, on the other hand, when we truly feel inspired about a certain direction or a certain decision that we've made, like moving to a new country, moving to a new city, starting a new company, leaving a job that doesn't fulfill you, whatever it is, again, even though it doesn't seem like it makes much sense to do so, even though it's not the practical thing to do, if you feel great, inspired, enlivened as a result of having made that decision, it's because our soul knows how this story and this line that you've chosen plays out. See, the right direction and the right decisions, no matter how illogical or impractical, will give us a sense of peace, will give us a sense of clarity, will give us a sense of ease, and you're going to feel harmonious about it. Think of this like your compass. See, our intuition only knows how to lead us to our greatest and highest potential. And because this is connected with divine will, divine love's plan for your growth and life's unfolding, it's going to give you a sense of peace. It's going to give you a sense of harmony, because that is what living in alignment with divine does for us. It gives us peace, clarity, and harmony. Now, what happens if we don't follow our intuition? If we don't follow that voice within us? It's going to feel like a persistent itch, right? I mean, you can think about it. Think about a time that you felt inspired to do something and you didn't take action on it. It's going to keep calling you back. It's going to keep nagging at you. Like, are you sure you don't want to do this? Come on, you know you want to do this. If you shut down this intuition enough times, this suppression will make the voice grow more faint until it grows dim and you're hardly able to hear it, because you've decided to trust more in the voices of society, voices of practicality, more than the voice of divine guidance, more than the voice of your true self guiding you to your highest potential. Life will start to feel like it's stagnating if we're not moving in this direction. It's going to feel like you're stuck in the same place. I've had clients call me and say, I feel stuck. I don't know how to move forward. I know what my dreams are, but they don't seem very practical. And I say, that's why. That's why. Because your guidance, your internal guidance system is telling you this is what's right for you, and you're overriding it and saying, no, I refuse to do that. So of course you're going to feel stuck. I've also experienced this feeling of stagnation before because, frankly, I too had fear of the unknown. I too, when I was starting my first company, had no clue what I was doing. It didn't seem like the right decision to say no to a master's and PhD program at one of the world's greatest universities in my late 20s and instead move back home into my family, into my mom's home, and live in the basement and try to figure it out again from scratch because I had an idea with one of my co-founders start a company with a mobile app. Would this work? I mean, come on, I get it. I understand this feeling very well. Now, if we don't move forward in the direction of our intuition, this internal feeling of stuckness is going to start to manifest external symptoms. I've seen this happen in my clients where they know what the right answer is. They know what is going to make them feel better, but they haven't yet taken the action in that direction. As a result, they started to develop some symptoms like foot injuries or leg injuries or even hip or back injuries, right? These are all mobility-focused injuries. I've seen this happen time and again. It even happened in my own life, right? Again, the external symptom is an indication of what is going on inside. If there's stagnation due to fear or insecurity or whatever the reason is of moving forward, we're going to manifest that sense of stagnation in our physical experience. And then we're going to blame it on the physical thing, saying, but I can't move forward because of that. No, you were already feeling that stuckness inside. This is the exact thing that happened to me. So I speak from experience. For example, I was finishing renovations in my home in Washington, D.C., and I thought, I'm going to make this home super comfortable. For the first time, I'm going to root myself in, stay in a city for long enough. And you know what? I'm also planning on leaving my job and thinking about what I want to do next. I'm going to take a whole year off. I'm going to live in this home that I'm renovating. I'm going to be comfortable here, and I'm just going to write, read, and figure out the next steps. I had no plans to leave DC. And then in the midst of my morning prayer and meditations, I kept seeing jungles every day, lush, green jungles. And I thought to myself, this is not the view outside my window. Where is this place? And every day, the same visual, lush, jungle. The visual kept getting richer and deeper, and I started to peer into it, and I thought, where is this place? And then eventually I thought, after many days, could this be Bali? I had no plans to move to Bali. I had no plans to be there, but I thought, could this be Bali? Now, I made no movement in direction of this vision. I knew that something was calling me to this part of the world and that it was likely Bali, but I was making no movements in that direction. It was not financially feasible. I was just doing home renovations. I'm thinking about shifting from the current job that I'm in to doing nothing for a year so I can think about what I want to do next. Bali is not a practical thing at this time in my life. Then one day, my indecision, again, knowing that I'm inspired by this vision that I'm seeing and not taking any action, led to a back injury in the gym. A pretty significant back injury. I was out of the gym for many weeks. And I work with this idea of course, if this is happening in my external experience, then what are the erroneous thoughts in my mind that led to me being susceptible or receptive to this injury that I'm experiencing right now? And after a few weeks, when I completely felt that I was healed of it, I was hosting a dinner. And in fact, earlier that morning, I thought to myself, wow, I'm completely healed of this. I must be back on the right trajectory now. I was hosting a dinner party, and right as the doorbell rang for the first guest to come in, it felt like a sledgehammer was taken to my back, and I was in the bathroom getting ready, and I was slammed to the floor, writhing in pain, excruciating pain, and I just was feeling up on my sink counter for my phone. I picked it up, on the floor, I called my mentor, and I said, this is what I'm experiencing right now. And she immediately and calmly said, I know exactly what this is. Your progress cannot be stopped. Tell your guests you need some time for yourself and quiet. She reminded me that I am spirit, and spirit cannot suffer any pain. She said she would go into prayer and call me back. So I crawled down the stairs, opened my door in deep pain. My guest immediately saw this on my face. And I said, hey, can I just have a few moments to myself? I hope you understand. I'm so sorry. And he said, we do not have to do this. He could see the situation was pretty dire. He's like, we do not have to do this. Can I help you in any way? You don't have to prepare dinner. Don't worry about it. And I said, no, I want to do this. I just give me some time. I crawled up the stairs, went into my closet, and in the dark, I just sat there praying, meditating on the idea that I'm spirit. I cannot be hurt. Spirit cannot be hurt or harmed in any way. And I simply waited as my spiritual mentor guided me to. And as I waited, I felt exactly, I remember this, after 18 minutes, I felt this shift, like this click happen on my back. And immediately I knew I was going to be okay. I just knew it. I felt it in my body that all was well. And I kid you not, right at that moment, my mentor called me and said, it is handled. Here is the truth that you need to work with. And then she read the words from Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord himself goes before you. He will be with you. He will never leave you. I took these words in, walked down the stairs, and with each step I repeated on loop, perhaps hundreds of times that night, the Lord himself goes before me. He is with me. As I cooked dinner, as I bent over to grab pans, as I, went to the fridge to grab ingredients, as I, cooked the food and prepared everything, grabbed the plates, set the table. The whole time, with every action I was taking, I was whispering inside myself, the Lord himself goes before you. Because if the Lord goes before you, then it's already done. If the Lord has gone before you, then it's already successful. And that's the truth that I needed to apply. That I can drop my fears and hesitation. For the Lord has already gone before me and secured my blessings. And God is with me in every step that I take. So I'm moving to another country and I don't have a job. Is this financially responsible? Well, God is my supply and God is with me. God is infinite and God is with me. God is the source of creation, so I can ask God for my supply. If God is with me, God is willing to support me in the direction that He is guiding me towards. This is how I started to think. Moving to a new country, don't know anybody. It's okay, God is with me. Moving to a new place, don't know where to live. That is okay. God is my shelter and my refuge.
Oh, yes. Okay, enough. Thank you so much.
Beautiful city of Verona, and I'm finally getting to eat my pappardelle with truffles. Cheers.
Principle number 2. Progress is the law of God. Mary Baker Eddy wrote these wise words, and they are words that I repeat to myself every time I feel a sense of being stuck. See, God's work is always unfolding. His love is always at work. His nature is progress. So if that's God's law, then it's how we get to operate as well as God's child, because we get to resemble God. Now, if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, there is a solution, and I call it do the opposite of your problem. What step or steps can you take that is the very opposite of feeling stuck? Now, these can be big steps or big leaps that you can make, bold and courageous, or they can be small steps, many small steps that add up to big leaps. List them all out. What big or small step that you can take that will help you feel like you are moving forward. That is the very opposite of what you're doing right now that is giving you the feeling of being stuck and stagnant. Now, which one step can you start to take right now? Even if you're not comfortable with a big leap yet, can you start small? What one small step can you take to demonstrate this law of progress? Again, just that one step. And then the next. Keep the law of progress going. Your intuition is pointing the way, but it's up to you through your free will and through your human footsteps to move in that direction. We are given the beautiful blessing of an intuition, but again, it's our free will and our human footsteps, so the actions that we take, that is going to make us progress in that direction. Know that God has already gone before you and your victory is assured. It's already happened in the infinite realm of possibilities of the line that you're chosen. Move forward. And this is step 2. Move forward knowing your victory is achieved. It's already done. It's secured. Focus on the best possible outcomes as you move forward. Do not sway from this vision of the best possible outcome. Know that life is designed to work out for you. The outcome that is most likely to transpire is the outcome that you keep in your observation. This is very important. The outcome that you are observing is the outcome that is most likely to transpire. So what was my doing the opposite of my problem? I booked a one-way ticket to Bali. I rented out my home that I spent 1.5 years meticulously renovating for myself to live in. Now somebody else gets to enjoy it. And I bought a one-way ticket to Bali and off I went. Again, January 1st, new year, new country, I was off. And then after 1.5 years of incredible adventures, friendships, finding incredible homes, professional and spiritual learnings, which I can cover in other videos, I felt the call to change scenes once again. I felt an intuitive call to be somewhere on the border of Italy and Switzerland, but I didn't know exactly where. So I pulled up a map of the region, I closed my eyes, I said a little prayer, God, lead me to where I should go next. And I just scrolled my finger along the map back and forth. And when it felt right after, I don't know, maybe it was a minute or two, put my finger down, opened my eyes, and my finger was on Verona. So here I am. Now it's your turn. How will you demonstrate the law of progress? How will your next chapter begin? I just began my next chapter. I have no idea how it's going to go, but I feel a sense of expansion, and I feel the inspiration is with me, so there's nothing to fear, just like you have nothing to fear.
Okay, so we are right now in La Bottega della Gina in Verona, the cutest town ever. And I'm about to have their dumplings, or ravioli rather. I call them dumplings. You thought you knew what a ravioli was, and then there's La Bottega della Gina.
Principle number 3, your blessings are on the other side of your leap of faith. Said another way, your joy, your freedom, success, peace, whatever it is that you are most drawn to is often on the other side of a very challenging decision. See, I showed up to Bali with 2 bags on January 1st of 2023, not even knowing what city I would call home. And at that time, I could have never imagined the rich friendships, the incredible adventures, sights, sounds, tastes, and deep relationships and spiritual insights that would unfold from my time there. I had no idea. When I was having my back injuries back in Washington, D.C., I had no idea all of this was waiting to unfold. If I did, I would have packed my bags so much sooner and headed out there. There's an Old Testament story of Ruth that sums up this principle nicely. She left her homeland and everything she knew, her family, her culture, her religion of upbringing. She left it all for the unknown, not knowing what crossing over to this new land of Judea would have in store for her. She started from the bottom. When Ruth first migrated to Judea, she faced many hardships because transitions can be challenging, just as transition was challenging for me. When I first arrived in Bali, I was overwhelmed. I didn't have a place to stay. I was adjusting to a new language, a new land, new norms. Everything is foreign. I had no idea how to get things done, do chores, where to buy my food. I faced health challenges, and at one point, emergency services had to break into my hotel room because I was so dehydrated with a stomach illness. Now, I knew what this meant. I was in a new place. Everything is new. Everything is happening so fast, right? Everything is so foreign. I wasn't able to digest all my experiences here smoothly. But as I started to slow down, appreciate where I was, be more open and receptive, be less nervous of where am I going to live, what friends am I going to find, how am I going to figure this out. As I started to get more comfortable with the unknown, I was able to digest these experiences and meet them with a greater sense of courage, meet them with a greater sense of grace, meet them with a greater sense of excitement and anticipation of amazing outcomes. For example, I prayed for a home. I prayed then as I prayed now the words that Jesus says, do not let your hearts be troubled. In my Father's house, there are many rooms. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and welcome you into my presence. These are beautiful words. Now, I know Jesus was mentioning these words to his disciples as an indication of what they can experience in heaven. He was describing the kingdom of heaven. But of course, in the Lord's Prayer, it says the kingdom of heaven is here and now, right? My Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, here on earth as it is in heaven. So the principle applies. I recall again that the Lord has gone ahead of me to secure my blessings. And in this way, I found many beautiful homes to live in my time in Bali. And then I prayed to be surrounded by the love of faith-filled people. And I attracted beautiful relationships into my life. Relationships that became like family. All my needs were met through prayer and affirmations of divine truth. God is good and delivers to those who seek through him. Seek first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you, as it says. My experiences are testimony to this. And now I am transitioning once again, applying these same truths. I am in expectation at all times of the good, the amazing, and the wonderful. And I've learned that I don't need to know the answers to the questions I have right now. And believe me, I have millions of questions and very little answers, but it's okay. I don't need to know. The answers will come. All that I need to know is that my future, my prosperity, my harmony is secured. And I just get to enjoy and experience. And when challenging times show up, I get to go back into knowing what the truth is according to divine law, and I get to hold on to that and know that all transitions will proceed harmoniously and that I can overcome any challenge when I know who is walking beside me. My father sent me a journal article from the National Institute of Health this week that said the number one regret of the dying was, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself. Make the resolution today that you will not have this one regret. So the question for you now that you are equipped with these three principles is, what is the next bold step you will take in the direction of your goals? I hope that my personal experiences have equipped you with a greater sense of confidence and purpose. I am like you. I have feared, and I still have fears that come up time and again. I know where to turn to for results. And I hope the wisdom that has helped me will also help you, because that is the purpose of this channel. I only am sharing things that have worked for me and I know to be true. And if it helped me, believe me, there's nothing special about me. If it helped me through the examples that I shared, I know it can work for you because it's a principle that is universal. If you have breath in your lungs right now, you have a purpose for being, for creating, for expressing yourself fully. Do the illogical thing that your heart knows is right for you. Do the brave thing that gives you life. Do the thing that will enable you to step out of your cocoon and emerge as a brilliant butterfly. As you stretch, expand, and spread your wings and fly. If this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe as I post regular talks on subjects that are designed to overcome limiting beliefs and unleash your absolute potential. So until next time, may peace be with you.